Hello, Comsverse. My name is Michael, and I hope you already had some great sessions today, or even have some great sessions ahead. I'm here to give you a 25 minutes overview about a very brand new topic, and let's dive into it. The first of all is you're here to get an overview about when you'd use what for your channels. We do have a brand new feature. I will go through a short introduction about this, which is called connected channels, shared channels actually. I will use the term shared channels all the time. I struggle using the official name, but you get the idea behind that. And let's talk about it. Let's go into the first sessions and the first slides, actually. At the beginning, who am I? My name is Michael, as mentioned before. I'm an MVP for Microsoft Teams, basically. And I'm also a co-founder of a company located in Germany, next to Munich, which is into success working with Microsoft Teams topics, user adoption topics, and change management. You can find me on Twitter, on LinkedIn, and now let's start with the actual session. The first of all is, let's talk about the basics. Let's talk about what is a channel, what is understanding and the general meaning of a channel. First of all is, you do have your organization. It's pretty straightforward. You do have multiple teams and you do have channels. But what is the purpose of the channel? The first of all is, your channel is there to have a chat conversation, to have files and apps. And sometimes you may have some meetings inside a channel. And sometimes you do have more requirements to your team, how many channels they have, which is the purpose of a channel. And I love the picture of visualization and thinking about the whole Microsoft Teams structure as a kind of house. So when we talk about channels and you think one team is your house, you just can access a team with the right key. There are some rooms in these houses. So you can get access to the house, and so you get access to the rooms. Keep that in your mind just to have a visual idea about what's going on with these channels. I think you're pretty familiar with that, but the most common question is, how should I structure my team? Why do I need different channels? And the overall answer is, you have different channels to address different topics in your project, in your department, and to avoid any confusion by just putting all the conversations in a single channel. If you have 10, 20, 30, 100, 200 people in a channel, and they are just asking a question about technical stuff, you will never see the question about marketing stuff. So structure your team to address specific topics in different channels. It's my personal recommendation. And this is also the reason why you can store your files in different structures. So it's not necessarily the same from a general channel in a marketing channel, for example. You have a separation between the different files and file structures. The main point here is, you do have your team with members, And in a standard channel, you have a access granted for all the members in your team. That's the reason why we have got private channels a couple of years actually ago. And we do have the shared channels, which is currently in public preview, but it will be GA sometime this year. I've seen an announcement just shortly, July and August, it will be GA. So let's talk about the different channels at the beginning. The first of all, as I mentioned before, the standard channel is open for everyone. So you have a standard channel and everyone can collaborate, work together, chat together, access the files, internal and external. Externals via guest accounts, but there's no hidden agenda, no hidden structure, no hidden conversation. It's to work together. The next one is a private channel. There you have a subset of users in your team granting access to a specific channel. And let's come back to the house analogy. When we talk about the house, you have the rooms, and one room is locked. And this is a private channel. This is your room to hide something from the rest of the team. This is good if you have some budget topics, for example. But it fails on a specific point. Whenever you try to hide something, or even share with just some people which don't need access to the whole team, you cannot grant the access to the private channel because every member in the private channel has to be a member at the team as well. And now that's the point where a shared channel comes in. With a shared channel, you can specify the users, for example, in your team or outside of your team, who can get access to this channel. And not only outside of your team granting access to a specific user, you can also grant it to a specific team. And you can access this also to a specific team outside of your company. On a technical perspective, this is slightly different. When we start a team or create a team, we are getting Microsoft 365 group behind that. And this is a fundamental layer for your whole team, actually. On a standard team, on a standard channel, you have a SharePoint master collection of your team site. So there's no specific customization or anything. This is just straight SharePoint site collection, master site collection of a team site. Here you go. On a private channel, you do have a site collection which is customized. So it is adjusted. It's not as the same as the one for a standard channel. So it's more specific to allow you the features we already talked about. And this is the same for the chat channel. And by the way, it's not the same technical site collection, but it is kind of similar. And this is a bit tricky here when we talk about the access, especially the guest access. In a standard channel, you do have your internal colleagues accessing the files, the chat, etc. And you do have guest accounts. Guest accounts are external parties invited to your tenant. They get access to your tenant via a guest account. You have an object on your Azure AD, which can be granted access to a specific resource. In this case, a team, a group actually in the backend. And this is good for the most of the cases because you can add the guest directly to the team. You can use it for handling all the guests like an internal user. There's no difference. They can use the files, the apps. There are some permission differences, but overall, they are member of the team, and they can be granted to private channels as well. So a guest user can have access to a private channel as well. But once again, it has to be part of the whole team. And that's a bit tricky when you may have different suppliers and you just want to have one project team and you have multiple suppliers, how to handle that. On a shared channel, it's not possible to grant guest accounts access to a shared channel because you invite the actual account via Azure AD B2B Connect. And this is for your channel. There's not a specific way. There's actually no way to grant guests access to this channel. They can still have access to the team, but not to this channel. Okay. As I said before, you are able to invite people, to invite whole teams, and you can grant access to the teams you own. What does it mean? You can see here a screenshot from a team when you share the channel. When you share this channel to a specific user, the user will see the name of the team and will see the chat channel. Nothing else. That's it. No general channel, no other channel at all. You can also share it with another team. For example, another team in your organization. Don't think shared channels are just for external sharing. They are a good use for internal projects as well. So you can share this channel, and if you share it with a team, you will see it integrated in another team. But the owner of a team has to include it into the team. So there are some control mechanisms to avoid any issues by granting permissions or adding this channel to another team where it should not be. And because you have to add this channel to a specific team and you need specific permissions, you have to be the owner. You're able to add it to another team where you are the owner as well, without any additional verification, because you are responsible for both. Okay. What are the general use cases? For a regular channel, as mentioned before, the whole team can work together. You can invite guests. For example, they may have multiple teams where the guests are currently working at. And you can use the existing account and grant access, work together. And the idea is to work together on the same level. So it's not hiding something. You have a project where everyone is equal, also the externals from the workload, and you do have top secret, maybe a top secret channel for the project organizer team with a private channel, but on the overall level, you work together without any limitation. The private channel is for sharing content with a specific people or with a specific person. And once again, they're a subset of the whole team. If you want to grant access to the private channel, you have to share the whole team. Don't forget this. And it's not just possible to limit the access to a specific channel. And last but not least, as mentioned before, use cases for the chat channel are uncountable from my point of view. If you have a project where you just want to share a specific aspect of your project, for example, with a project management team, just go ahead and share a single channel internally. If you're inviting some technical guys working together in a project, but they don't have to know the suppliers, the budget topics, anything else, just share a channel. If you have external parties and you want to work with them together, but they're always complaining about the tenant switch, which is really, really, really annoying. Yes, it's getting faster, but you still have a cutoff from your original environment. You can share this channel with them as well, because when they are in their own environment, don't change anything. They are just there, and they can go for accessing the files, accessing the chat. They are still part of the conversation. They are still part of the team working together with you in a project. And that's definitely the best way to work together if you're not working in a whole team, just with a specific aspect. And now let's talk about a kind of decision tree. What I've done here is I tried to visualize my general thoughts when I start to decide to start a channel and to decide what is the best way, which channel should I use. You already got the idea, the use cases. You may are familiar with the structure. You're good to go and everything is fine. Then thank you very much for attending this session. But if you need something like this decision tree, here we go. First of all, think about, is it an internal sharing or not? And let's go for the internal sharing only, yes. You will share your data internally. Okay. Can you share all the information which is in the team? If it's so, just go ahead for a regular channel. If you are not sharing all the information in a channel, next question, will you share it with a single team or with multiple teams? And with multiple teams, it's, with a single team, that's a no case, you go for a private channel because you just want to hide something from all the rest. If you want to share it with multiple teams, go for a shared channel. Let's talk about the question internal sharing. And you decide, no, it's not only for internal sharing. Will you share it with a guest? Okay, yes. Then, can you share all the information? Yes. Then go for a new team. And then you go for actually a regular channel. Will you hide something? Is this something you are looking for a kind of private channel? Go for it. But what is if you have not existing guest accounts? Of course, you can invite them. That's the easiest answer, of course. But when we talk about guest accounts and you don't want to put them here, you think about a trusted company. As I mentioned before, the underlying layer here is Azure B2B AD Connect. That means if this company is currently not trusted, it's not easy or it's not possible to share the channel anyways. That only affects external parties, but it has a huge impact here. So a trusted company is something which is already trusted on the Azure B2B level. And there you go for, share it without using guest accounts, without sharing too much information, and just a specific channel to a trusted company, to a trusted party. Go for a shared channel. If this company is currently untrusted, of course, you can go and you should go for the internal process to request a new trust. If it's a main partner, one of these partners you will work together multiple times, then you go for these processes you hopefully already have or which are currently in planning. If you're responsible for this topic, please start planning. And if you're just responsible for Teams, please talk to your Azure AD guys. It's not a Teams topic, not only a Teams topic. If you talk about external sharing, you are using Azure Active Directory. Talk about this with your colleagues. Okay, this company is currently untrusted. Unfortunately, then go for a new team with guest accounts. Yes, I said with existing guests, but then you have to follow the process to get a new guest account for these users. Overall, what you can see here, it's not only to point you just to straight to shared channels. It is to point you to rethink what is the purpose of the channel, what is the need of your channel, and then decide how you can go for it. And this is actually the last slide. On my side, I just want to put this here with as much information on a single screen as possible, and then go for, the real last slide. My thank you slide. If you want to talk about this topic or any other Teams topic, don't hesitate to contact me. Just go ahead and connect on LinkedIn, follow on Twitter, and please give me a short shootout. You have seen my session, and give me a short feedback. I'm looking forward to that. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the conference. Bye.